Politics is often seen as a man's game, which a lot of people take exception to. Weirdly, they only get pissed off at the man bit, and not the fact that it's treated like a game by many of those we foolishly elected. Of course, the only way to gain equal representation in Parliament isn't to buckle down and be the better candidate, but to piss and moan until someone takes notice. And of course, to exclude men from your party, policies and promises. But democracy is no easy thing, and nothing brings out the crazies like a good old British election.
Now, throughout the election campaign, we're taking a look at some of the smaller parties hoping to make gains at the ballot box.
Bit insulting they get a woman in to talk about boxes, but let's not judge too early on.
Today, we're looking at the Women's Equality Party, who are currently fielding 7 candidates.
Here we go then, an actual political party for women's equality. So now they don't have to ruin people's lives in person, they can do it without leaving the office. Brilliant! I miss when politics was about everyone, not just the one gender, you know?
The Women's Equality Party was founded in 2015. It has 45,500 Twitter followers.
Fucking Twitter followers! That's just sad! And sure, 45,000 sounds like a lot. Oh, and a half. Don't forget the half. I wonder how many of those follow them for the shits and giggles though, the same reason I follow BuzzFeed. And looking at the population of the United Kingdom, that's 65,094,000 people who don't give a shit about your wanky little party. Oh, and a half. Don't forget the half.
They're calling for equality in politics, business and on executive boards through gender quotas.
Oh yeah, that's gonna go well for them. Sack half the board members and replace them with women who didn't earn the position and have no fucking experience in that field. Brilliant. I can see all these corporations lining up to give you campaign money for that. I'm pretty sure people have voted into the board of directors just the same as candidates have voted into political office. So maybe forcing your way in isn't the way to go, you know? You might, now this is just speculation here, but you might have to do it the same fucking way as everyone else.
They want to close the gender pay gap, saying that women earn 52% of what men do each year.
How the fuck are they trying to get into politics when they're so poorly fucking informed? I know half the job is lying through your fucking teeth, but this is a joke. It's not even earnings gap, it's pay gap. That old myth that just refuses to die. Why not have a policy that states it's illegal to pay one gender more or less than the other for the same work? Oh shit, we already have that law. So I guess you could say there's no need for a women's equality party, couldn't you?
They're calling for equal maternity and paternity leave.
Wow, just stick those two policies next to each other without realising the effect one has on the other. If they're advocating for the shortening of maternity leave to match paternity leave, they might see that earnings gap close a little bit. But I don't think they are, as pretty much the moment she said Women's Equality Party, I heard give us free stuff.
And they want to see gender stereotypes challenged more in education.
Okay, so nothing that actually matters then. Just gonna make work and life a lot more difficult for a lot of people. Yeah, I'm sure you guys will do fine. Oh, girls. I meant girls. No, women. Ah, fuck. This is a pissing minefield.
And we're joined now from Leeds by their leader, Sophie Walker.
Oh, so we have a face to go with this bullshit. Fuck you, Sophie Walker. Wasting everyone's time with your deluded fuckery. She was always going to be blonde though, wasn't she? I would have put money on that. You see, most stereotypes are based on truth. A very mild truth, but a truth nonetheless. And this one is going to show us where the blonde stereotype comes from.
Sophie, welcome to the Daily Politics.
Hello.
What is it exactly that you're pushing for that women in politics aren't already tackling?
That's actually a fucking good question, Jo Coburn. Her name's Jo Coburn. I looked it up. But yeah, Sophie Walker, why aren't you just back in the parties with the policies you agree with instead of starting your own little club of entitlement? Is it because they don't focus solely on women? Or do you just have a lot of time on your hands since your lesbian life partner left you for a bucket of tuna?
We have women's select committees, ministers, women's issues are debated, talked about. Why aren't you just backing the parties or the party that you think best represents women's rights?
I can answer that one, Jo Coburn. It's because a lot of the issues the Women's Equality Party raise have long been debunked as being harmless or quite simply not true by anyone with a fucking brain cell. But as long as there's pink hair dye, there will always be feminists ready to argue about the things that don't fucking exist. Except this bitch wants to get paid for it.
Because we've got much better policies and we've got much better candidates.
And 45,500 Twitter followers, Sophie Walker. Your policies aren't better. If they came into action, you'd be causing more problems than the imaginary ones you're apparently solving. And what makes your candidates better? A fucking vagina? It's a sad state of affairs when your main feature is that your party is full of cunts.
And actually our whole system looks at it differently. What we're offering voters this time round is is a better option, a different option.
It's not a different option, Sophie Walker. Channels like mine have been shooting this bollocks out of the sky for as long as you lot have been squatting down and shitting it out. But fuck would you ever listen to anyone that doesn't agree with you? Actually, you'd fit in with all the other politicians just off of that. But if that falls through, you could always use your face to make your own line of Halloween masks.
One that flips politics on its head, if you like. What we do is we design a system that works for the furthest first.
Oh shit, so you're going to be looking out for a single demographic then? Fucking called it. That's exactly what you want from a politician, isn't it? Someone who will come along, flip everything on its head, and then say we're only going to take care of one specific group of people.
So if you look at the experiences of the single biggest discriminated against group,
Black, Muslim, transgender, disabled homosexuals?
women.
Fuck off! You're on the fucking BBC talking about your political party! If you were discriminated against, you wouldn't be anywhere near politics or a fucking camera! Shut up, you bint!
In all of our diversity, then you actually create a political system and policies that work better for everyone.
No, it works better for women, you fuck up! Take another look at your policies and tell me it benefits everyone. You don't get to use the word diversity when you're focusing solely on the bitches. How much experience do you have with shit like this, Sophie Walker? Because you're coming across as more green than the inside of my fucking grinder.
Do you not think, though, that some of the existing politicians, I mean, of course we can name the leaders of various parties at the moment, Prime Minister Leanne Wood, Nicola Sturgeon, Caroline Lucas, we've just had on the programme.
All right, you're just name-dropping now. At least that's what my good friend Brad Pitt said when he came round for tea and sushi this morning.
I mean, they are doing quite well in of themselves, and are they not promoting from within the system the change that you want?
Ooh, you're losing me, Joe Coburn. Now you're making it sound like all female politicians have an agenda, which I'm sure is some kind of true, but not all of them. There are still some good people out there, and anyone running for a seat in Parliament who brings up the fucking wage gap is gonna get laughed out of that yard by people who actually know something about the current state of our country. Things might be fucked, but not like that, are they?
No, that's why we're here. We're bringing new and fresh voices in our candidates, many of whom have never done politics before.
Never done politics before. Oh, excuse me while I go and do my politics. Sophie Walker can't come to the phone right now as she's too busy politicking. You fucking idiot. And ignoring that, well, not ignoring it because my fuck, you're a retard, but why would you admit your candidates have no experience when it comes to politics? For one, you seem to have been indulging in identity politics for a while now. Two, don't fucking say that when you're trying to get votes. And three, from the way you've been pissing on, it's fucking obvious.
And are providing exactly the kind of interesting and different backgrounds which would be so valuable in Westminster.
I can't help but think someone who has a handle on how to do the actual fucking job in hand would be more valuable than someone who might as well be a vagina in a wig. Your one selling point is that you're a woman. Beyond the adage mother knows best, you've got nothing. Nothing!
But we're also looking really specifically and closely at how we redesign, for example, investment in the economy. So
whoa, you're giving some big talk now. This could be your only saving grace here, Sophie Walker. Don't throw it away like a soiled tampon.
we will be prioritising a look at how you invest in the social infrastructure of this country.
No, you fucked it. You fucked it. Social politics are bullshit and have no place when it comes to the running of the country. Look at Canada, for fuck's sake. Bill C-16, you'd love that, wouldn't you? Well, I have faith in the incredible stoicism of the British people that you will be scoffed at, ma'am, and scoffed at hard.
Time and time again, Chancellor after Chancellor stands up and says, you know, oh, here's a great idea to get the economy going. Let's invest in physical infrastructure. Let's invest in housing and roads and bridges.
You mean all the things we fucking need, right? But no, fuck those houses, roads and bridges. We don't need to stay warm and dry. We don't need to get to work to power the economy and put food on the table. Nor do we need to traverse bodies of water to deliver the fucking face cream you need to keep your fucking skin from cracking every time you move the chin you stole from the Wicked Witch of the West. But go on, Sophie Walker. What better idea do you have?
And what we're saying is that how about if we just look at the other side of that? How about we invest in free childcare?
What? How the fuck would that would drain money from the damn economy, woman? Are you mad? Is your method of solving problems to create more fucking problems? Have you thought this through at all?
That would have a transformative impact on the lives of women right across this country.
How? Not all women have children, you know, so just how is your female-only utilitarian clusterfuck gonna benefit all females besides saving some of them some money every week? Giving shit out for free isn't how you contribute to an economy. Shit for a face is how you fucking destroy it. Which you would know if you didn't rely on your fucking genitals to give you all the answers.
And on top of that, you would also increase your tax base and you would decrease the number of out-of-work benefits.
How is that gonna happen? The government will have to pay the carers' wages and rent on the venue if they don't just buy the building outright, so taxes will most likely go up to cover those costs. And how the fuck will it decrease unemployment benefits when childcare is used mostly by those who fucking work during the day anyway? Do you think all those stay-at-home mums who draw from that well are gonna stop because they can fob their kid off to someone else 5 times a week for nothing? All of these systems get abused, Sophie Walker. What makes you think your idea will be any different besides costing the taxpayer a fuck ton? I know the Labour Party want to do the same thing, but they actually have an idea where the fucking money's gonna come from.
And that would have a knock-on effect for everybody in a very, very positive way.
Is it fuck? Why should I, someone who is blissfully childless, have to pay to raise someone else's kids? How do you think spending money is going to save money? And what do you think will happen to all those childcare companies who pay tax when they can't compete with the ultra-low price of free? Will you just shut the fuck up and think about this for a second? You said knock-on effect without actually considering what that could be.
Right, I mean, we haven't got time to go through costings, but I mean...
Oh, you lucked out there, Sophie Walker. If Joe went into the actual proposed budget, you'd be all kinds of fucked, wouldn't you? And I'd finally get to see a potential MP say, hold on, maybe this doesn't work out after all. But even then, you'd blame it on patriarchal mathematics or some bullshit.
In your
Okay, let's take
manifesto,
those in our manifesto.
you open with the line, nowhere in the world do women enjoy full equality.
No, that's fucking true. I mean, they do have it in the West, but they don't fucking enjoy it, do they? These fucks don't want equality, they want superiority.
I mean, do you really think that the position of women in Western liberal democracies can be compared to the situation experienced by women around the world in the way you've presented it there?
Oh shit! Another good question from Joe Coburn, who has thrown off the shackles of the sisterhood and dares criticise one of her fellow tit-toters.
Well, first of all, that's not our manifesto. That's our policy document that we launched in October
All right,
2015,
but
and our
whatever.
manifesto is coming shortly.
But you still stand by that?
Well then what the fuck is it doing in your policies? It's not a fucking policy, is it? You're all kinds of backwards, lady. I started off a little worried that you might gain a bit of power this election, but now I can see you're just a poorly organised joke.
Yeah, we absolutely stand by that. And this is a classic case of sort of whataboutery, if you like, that we're not allowed to talk about women's equality unless we start from somewhere else.
I think you'll find most people don't shut the fuck up about women's equality while shunning anyone who dares to bring up men's rights, a la Jess, I'm a big fat fuck up Phillips.
I mean, setting aside the fact that, frankly, if you want a feminist approach to foreign policy...
We don't! The only thing we want the feminists to approach is a fucking helicopter propeller.
You have to have more feminists in Parliament. I think it's very, very clear that when you look at the statistics right here in the UK,
Yes.
Women just don't have the same options. Men outnumber women by 2 to 1 in Parliament.
Yeah, but they were voted in by both men and women, so any change you try to bring about regarding that will undermine democracy.
You referred in your introduction to the size of the pay gap.
All right.
We know that women suffered disproportionately from austerity measures that meant that they paid £86 out of every £100 that was spent, that was saved.
All right, so
What the fuck are you talking about? Don't get me wrong, you've got the whole talking out of your ass thing down, but otherwise you've got nothing to offer besides another empty head sat in the House of Commons. I mean, most of our MPs are as stupid as they can manage, but there's got to be a line, hasn't there? All of this makes me think anyone can do it. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm throwing my hat into the ring. Whee! Yes, it's DU for PM. And my first act will be to impose a hefty fucking feminism tax, which will go towards the care and well-being of anyone exposed to your fat-headed sense of entitlement. Thanks for watching, guys. Please consider becoming a patron in the name of equality. The link is in the description, and remember, poly means many, and ticks means blood-sucking insects.